It is 102 degrees.
And if it gets 1 degree hotter, I'm gonna kick your ass.
Where I live, and due to the shoddy construction that my house was built in back at 2000 or whenever it was, I don't get any air conditioning in both this room and my bedroom that's actually on the other side of the wall behind me. So if you hear the fan, if there's wind blowing into the mic, I'm sorry, but it's 102 degrees. I'm not going to melt for you. Whatever. Anyway, hello and welcome to This Date in History, aka TDH. This show is all about the events that occurred today in years past, both recognized by actual historians, but mainly things I personally find intriguing enough for me to bring to you. The source of this information comes from the smart device application On This Day, the icon of which is shown as cutoff prevention at the beginning and end of each episode. The music in the background is Translucent by Unison, which I found on the YouTube channel No Copyright Sounds, aka NCS. For links to the app, music, and anything else potentially interesting, check the underbar. Anyway, on with the show! Today is Moon's Day, aka Monday, June 20th, 2016. In 2003, the Wikimedia Foundation was founded in St. Petersburg, Florida. In 2001, Andrea Yates, in an attempt to save her young children from Satan, drowned all 5 of them in a bathtub in Houston, Texas. A culmination of religion, the South, and Texas, all 3 are aspects of mental retardation. Get all 3 together, and you end up with crap like this. In 1991, the German Bundestag voted to move the capital from Bonn back to Berlin. In 1990, the 7.4 MW Manjil-Rudbar earthquake affected northern Iran. With a maximum Mercalli intensity of X, which is Roman numeral for 10, aka extreme, causing the deaths of 35,000 to 50,000 people, and the injury of 60,000 to 105,000 others. In 1990, asteroid Eureka was discovered. In 1982, the Argentine Corbeta Uruguay base on southern Thule surrendered to Royal Marine Commandos in the final action of the Falklands War. In 1979, ABC News correspondent Bill Stewart was shot and murdered by a Nicaraguan soldier under the regime of Anastasio Somoza Debayle. This action was caught on tape and sparked an international outcry against the regime. In 1975, the film Jaws was released in the United States and became the highest-grossing film of that time and started the trend of film known as summer blockbusters. In 1963, the so-called Red Telephone Link was established between the Soviet Union and the United States following the Cuban Missile Crisis. In 1960, the Mali Federation gained independence from France and would later split into Mali and Senegal. In 1948, Toast of the Town, later renamed The Ed Sullivan Show, made its television debut. In 1945, the U.S. Secretary of State approved the transfer of Wernher von Braun and his team of Nazi rocket scientists to the United States. In 1944, during World War II, the Battle of the Philippine Sea concluded with a decisive U.S. naval victory. The lopsided naval air battle was also known as the Great Marianas Turkey Shoot. In 1943, the Detroit race riot broke out and continued for 3 more days. And that's what happens when people watch NASCAR a little too much. Just look at the South. In 1941, just 2 days before Hitler's idiotic invasion of the Soviet Union, the United States Army Air Corps was deprecated to being the U.S. training and logistics section of what was known until 1947 as the United States Army Air Forces. In 1940, during World War II, Italy began an unsuccessful invasion of France. A country with no balls can't invade a country with no spine. In 1900, Baron Eduard Toll, leader of the Russian Polar Expedition of 1900, departed St. Petersburg, Russia on the explorer ship Zarya, never to return. In 1895, the Kiel Canal, crossing the base of the Jutland Peninsula and the busiest artificial waterway in the world, was officially opened. In 1887, Victoria Terminus, the busiest railway station in India, opened in Bombay. In 1877, Alexander Graham Bell installed the world's first commercial telephone service in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. In 1863, during the American Civil War, West Virginia was admitted as the 35th U.S. state. In 1840, Samuel Morse received the patent for the telegraph. In 1819, the U.S. vessel SS Savannah arrived at Liverpool, United Kingdom, becoming the first steam-propelled vessel to cross the Atlantic even though most of the journey was made under sail. Sorry folks, that does not count. Steam-driven all the way or you void the whole thing. In 1789, deputies of the French Third Estate took the tennis court oath. I pledge love to the racket of the United Nets of... In 1787, Oliver Ellsworth moved at the Federal Convention to call the government the United States. In 1756, a British garrison was imprisoned in the Black Hole of Calcutta. In 1631, the sack of Baltimore occurred when the Irish village of Baltimore was attacked by Algerian pirates. In 1248, the University of Oxford received its royal charter. And in 451, during the Battle of Chalons, Clavius Attalus battled Attila the Hun. After this conflict, which was inconclusive, Attila retreated, causing the Romans to interpret it as a victory. They seriously need to read The Art of War by Sun Tzu. Bursts: Marlene Schwenk, 1995, Andrew Soupcan Sam DeLeon, 1991, John Goodman, 1952, Thomas Jefferson, 1920, Zelda, 1914. And that concludes the show. Once again, check the underbar for any links you may be interested. Don't forget to rate 5 thumbs and subscribe. For your dose of Passive Events Daily, I am Xander, and you are you. Toodles!